Good morning and welcome to Succah Daf Tet, Succah number 9. Um, we're moving through Succah very quickly over here. We're on Daf Tet already. We just started a week ago, about. And how you enjoying Masechah Succah, Shmuel?
Oh,
Is this your favorite Masechah?
it's very, 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 very.
What's your favorite
My
Masechah?
favorite Masechta.
What's your favorite Masechah?
The shorter ones. No, it's true.
I think most people say Brachos is their favorite Masechta, right? It's the easiest Masechta. Brachos is probably the favorite Masechta. I would say number 2 is probably Sukkah. Sukkah is probably number 2. It's a little more difficult
It's
than
a
Brachos.
happy time. Sukkot is a happy time.
Yeah, people like Sukkah. In America, Sukkah is awful, right? It's freezing over there. It's freezing over there. Your Sukkahs are blowing down.
Not anymore. Now with global warming, it's very nice.
You believe in global warming?
I don't know, but Sukkot, it's not like it used to be. How much I could tell you.
I know. I remember going in Sukkahs and it's freezing. You bring our jackets
right?
out there.
Now, when you were younger.
Yeah.
Ask your family members and if they're there in
I
America.
know what the temperatures are.
It's not so cold.
Listen, if you want to go, if you have money, come to Israel for Sukkot. You can stay in Jerusalem Gardens. You can stay.
That's right.
We talked about Schneller last time.
That's right. $10,000.
Go to your Schneller apartment.
Below $10,000. It's easy. Right, Schneller. Yeah, we'll go to Schneller. Maybe go.
Jerusalem Gardens is a good program. I don't know. It's Mahadran food. Is Mahadran reliable? Mahadran. Glat Mahadran.
Oh, Rabbanut Mahadran.
Glat Mahadran Rabbanut. I don't know. It's confusing.
I heard a conversation. David Lichtenstein. Yeah,
what percentage of people you think look at that and they say Mahadran? They don't even make another phone call. They just assume that's good enough.
It's a problem. But I'll tell you, but some of the hotels don't even have Mahadran. I think World of Astoria doesn't even have Mahadran.
It usually does have Mahadran in Sukkot.
What? No, the whole year it's not Mahadran.
What about a Waldorf salad at Waldorf Astoria? Would that have a better hechsher? All right, we gotta go.
The mashkichon salad is the biggest problem because.
What do you put in a Waldorf salad? You know that?
The salad is the biggest problem because of the bugs. That's really true.
What's in a Waldorf salad?
Waldorf salad? I don't know.
Give me some main ingredients. You have a little bit of apples.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Some celery.
It's like charoisis, you mean?
Celery, apples, celery. I forgot. I don't forget the rest. All
Waldorf.
right.
It probably was called Waldorf because it was.
It was actually because of the Waldorf in the Waldorf hotel in England.
Oh, really?
I think it was, or it was in New York. I'm not sure. Waldorf Astoria is in New York, right?
Right.
So I think they originated the Waldorf salad and they named it after the hotel. That's where they started.
Interesting.
All right. The Mishnah says Sukkah Yeshana Beishamai Postin V'Yisil Machshir. Let's say you have a Sukkah, which is an old Sukkah, meaning. You didn't make it. It was before 30 days before Sukkah. Beishamai Postin V'Yisil Machshirin. Beishamai says it's puzzle. It was made 30 days before Sukkah. Your mastama didn't make it. If you're within 30 days, we'll see, then it's a kosher Sukkah because 30 days before Sukkah, you learn about Hilchos Sukkah. So mastama, when you make a Sukkah, you're machaving to do it l'shem, the mitzvah of Sukkah. But if it's without 30 days, you don't have that kavanah. They say you don't have to have kavanah l'shem mitzvahs chag when you build it. Be'ezi Sukkah Yeshana. What is Sukkah Yeshana? Kol shasach kodem l'chag shel Hashem. Like we explained before 30 days, you're not thinking about Sukkah. But if you did it before 30 days, but you had in mind that you're doing it l'shem mitzvah Sukkah, even Beis Shammai, as Rashi says, even Beis Shammai would be machshir and say that it's good because you had kavanah to do it l'shem. Now, I don't know if this extends all the way back. Let's say 3 years ago you had in mind and you left it for 3 years. Maybe that would be a problem of Basel already. If it's more than 12 months, that would be called Basel. That would be a problem. I don't know. Tosfos adds over here that he says that really this Chiddush it seems to be according to Beis Shammai. He says the Yerushalmi brings that according to Beis Hillel, they hold the Sukkah Yeshana, at least the Tefach, you have to be Machadesh. You have to do Hashem Sukkah. My time with the Beit Shammai, I think Mar says, Amakra Chag Sukkos Shivas Yom LaHashem. Sukkah Asuy L'Shem Chag Ba'ina. Pasuk says Chag Sukkos. It says the word Chag Sukkos. Why do you say the word Chag Sukkos? And it's LaHashem. Mashma, that part of the mitzvah of making the Sukkah has to be L'Shem Chag. Has to be L'Shem the mitzvah of Chag. Hashem's mitzvah of the Chag of Sukkos. Let me buy Rav Sheshes. You need that pasuk Rav Sheshes teaching. The Amar Rav Sheshes Mishum Mekiv. Aminayin Ati Sukkah Shasur and Kol Sheva. You're not allowed to benefit midoraisa from the Succah. Talmud Lomar Chag Sukkah Shivas Yom LaHashem. This pasuk Chag Sukkah LaHashem, that it's like Hashem. The Gemara is going to explain further. Tanya Rehuda Masera explains this further. Omer Kishem shechal shem shamayim al chagiga kachal shem shamayim al sukkah. Shnemer chag sukkah shows yom Hashem. Ma chag Hashem af sukkah Hashem. He interprets the word chag as a reference to chagiga, korban chagiga. Korban chagiga is hektish, and there's a problem with me'ilah. So there's an equation of chag to sukkahs, chagiga to sukkahs, and it's la Hashem. Just like chag is la Hashem. There's me'ilah, you can't benefit from it. So sukkah also, you can't benefit from the schach of your sukkah, midoraisa. The Gemara in other places says midarabbanan, it's also mishum muksa, but this is on doraisa level, benefiting from your schach. So Shmuel, when you want to take your schach down in the middle of sukkahs and play stickball, you know what stickball is? Don't try to play stickball on sukkahs. Don't play stickball. Resist the urge, okay? You know what stickball is?
Stickball?
They haven't played in a long time. It used to be in like the 60s or 70s. My parents were growing up. They used to play in the Bronx. He used to take a stick, a very thin stick, a piece of wood, maybe like a broomstick, I don't know exactly, and they used to hit a rubber ball. It was like a form of baseball.
Okay.
Not familiar with that?
I've heard about it, yeah.
Aren't you like 70 years old? How old are you, Shmuel? Shmuel, tell the camera how old you are. Are you older than me?
I don't know how old you are.
I'm 39.
39, my gosh. You're like ancient.
How old do I look?
You look like 24.
I'm 24. How old are you?
I'm 23.
You just made that up. You're not 23.
I'm not 24. And you're not 24. Okay, let's go. Bye.
How old are you?
I'm not telling everybody my age. Let's go.
What are you, a girl? All right, listen. All right, we're going. Gemara says, he also needs the pasuk to tell me he agrees that Atzei Sukkah is asur midoraisa like chagiga. In Achanami, you're right. It's true. Where do they get their reasoning from? Sukkah asu l'shem chag b'inyan. The juxtaposition of the words chag to sukkah is telling me that you need the sukkahs l'shem chag, the mitzvah of chag. What do they do with that pasuk? They say chag sukkah is tasalach shivas yom. In fact, that it says 7 days. You could even make it even in the middle of 7 days. Any of the 7 days, even if you didn't make a sukkah before Chol HaMoed, you can make it. You don't need a sukkah that's going to be around for 7 days. They don't need it for that drasha, because they hold that the sukkah has to be really around for 7 days, like Rabbi Lezer. So you don't need kavanah l'shem mitzvah when you make your sukkah. It doesn't hold of Rav. Let's say you make tzitzis. Kotzin is these thorn-like threads. When the warp thread snaps, so you have to tie it in a knot. And let's say it hangs down from below the actual garment, or you make it from what is Neiman exactly? Neiman is I think these balls of yarn that were held in a garden is talking about where the actual threads. Neiman is actually embroidery. When you embroider something, you have threads that hang down in a garden, or things just at the end of the fringes, there are threads hanging down. Psula, it's puzzle. Because you didn't make the sitzis l'shem, it's a sitzis. If you make it from these balls of yarn that hanging down, and you intended to put them as your sitzis is shera, because you made the sitzis l'shem sitzis. Shmuel held even minatzitzin is psula, because he holds to be on tefillah shma. He holds one step more that you need when they actually spun the thread, that it should be l'shem mitzvah sitzis, not just when they hung the thread. So you should need a sukkah that you made for the mitzvah of sukkah, just like by the Gemara says, shani hasam damakra gedilim tasalach lach l'shem chovcha. There, the pasuk says you should make it for yourself. What is the lach? Lach is in order for your mitzvah, We should darshan also says tasalach. You should make a sukkah for the mitzvah, and we should hold you have to have kavanah l'shem mitzvah. Humi bayile lemute exula. That pasuk lach is yours. It has to be from you and not from stolen materials. You can't make a sukkah out of stolen materials. It's puzzle. Sukkah gzula. Hasanami bayile lemute exula. We also by tzitzis, you can't have tzitzis that are stolen from stolen materials either. There it says a different pasuk to tell you that tzitzis that are made from stolen materials are puzzle. Lahem, it has to be from your own materials.
That's nice.
Shmuel, did you ever steal things?
Steal.
Did you ever like when you were in class, like growing up, like
I guess so.
you extolled? Did you like cheat on tests and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
sure. Why? Of course. No.
Really, you cheated? I always have this guy sitting behind me. This guy used to copy all the answers off my test paper.
Really?
He really copied everything. The guy,
Yeah, good
he
guy.
didn't
You
study.
let him. And you let him.
I didn't care.
That's
Whatever.
nice of you.
I was a good student. I
You're a
was
good
straight A student.
Really?
I valedictorian in high school.
Are you joking?
Hey, you know what that is?
Valedictorian?
Yeah.
What is that? Some sort of a...
It's an award
Oh, I
for.
know.
Is
That's
that
the guy
number
who
one or number
fixes
two?
animals. Lets you have a sick dog.
No, it's a veterinarian. What is valedictorian? There's two words. It's valedictorian and salutatorian. Which one is number one? Which one is number two?
Yeah?
Trivia.
Which one is number one? I don't know.
Which one is the best grades? Which one is the second best grade?
Well, if you got valedictorian, that must be like the top, right?
Shmuel, you're on the ball. But in elementary school, I was salutatorian.
You are.
Yeah. My parents always said I really should be valedictorian, but the other person.
He was the son of the
whatever,
big
we're not
rich
gonna-
guy, right?
There you go. How'd you know? All
always
right,
works
the
that
truth comes out.
It always
Exactly.
works that way. I have the
I don't
sense-
know. Listen, this is the rumors. It could be that the girl had better grades than me. It could be she didn't. I don't know. That's what my parents said. They don't know either. It's speculation. You could speculate from here till tomorrow.
Maybe we could, we could do some research, call up, and get down to call investigative reporting, and
I already filed a lawsuit a couple of times. They threw it out of court. There's not enough evidence. I brought in all my science tests from 7th grade. They said, where are the math tests? You didn't bring in the math test.
and it's where you even brought in the science practice.
I was in math class.
Your
I remember in
science
7th grade, I took a test and I cried after it because I didn't have enough time to finish the test.
Oh.
And I got a 96 on the test. I
You're
was
joking.
crying. I was bawling in the bathroom because I didn't get 100.
You're joking. Well, who put this pressure on you? Where did you get all this
I
from?
don't know. I felt a lot of pressure in my whole life.
It's not good. It's not good.
I'm starting to release the pressure now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, in Israel, there's no pressure at all. It's just.
There's a lot of pressure. To do well in school. You want to
I'm
get
just talking
into
about it.
the good high school, the good college.
Yeah, no, here there's a lot of pressure. I'm saying, in the day-to-day, I'm making a joke, the day-to-day life here, it's not the most,
Not most what?
it's not the most, people, simple things, people have things, a lot of things to worry about here in Eretz. All over the world. It's not a lot, people don't have an easy life now, even if you think in a modern.
Of course, stress. They made a recent study just came out this year, 2020. 93,000 people committed overdosed on drugs.
Really?
It's 30% higher than the greatest number ever. Yeah.
Really? 30%? Wow.
It was the greatest, the most amount of overdose deaths ever in 1 year.
Terrible.
It's the pandemic, I'm saying, obviously.
Could be, you're right.
Were depressed,
That's
isolation.
Right. That's right. No, people, the world is all like a sort of, the world feels like an unknown. Fear is a fear. Okay.
All right, let's go on. The
Let's
Mishnah
learn.
says, not Teramud Beis. You make your sukkah underneath a tree, right? Don't make it under a tree. It's pasuk kilo asab abayis. It's like you made your sukkah in the middle of your house, right? Under your roof of your house. Sukkah agabi sukkah. If you make one sukkah on top of another sukkah, yona ksher, about psula. The top one is kosher because it has only one schach. The bottom one is possible because it has two schachim, and that's going to say that's possible. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, ein diurim ba'al yona. No one's living in the top one, so it's like it's not there. Tachtonik share. We'll see what that means. The bottom one could be kosher, even though the top one still exists. Just no one lives there. Whereas Amarav, lo shanu elib ilan shesilso meruba mecham. So it has to be. We're talking about a tree where the shade is more than the sunlight. Aval chamso meruba mitzilso kshera. Let's say the top tree is chamso, and more sunlight gets through than shade, so it's kshera. Because it's not really a sukkah. It has to be one sukkah on top of another sukkah. A sukkah that's chamsum from so it's psula, it's not really a sukkah. Where do you know this from? Where do you know this from? The Tani kilu asab sukkah bias. It says, like in the Mishnah, weird lashon, you make a sukkah tachas ilan, it's like you made in the bias. Lamli the mystic kilo asab sukkah bias. Listen to psula, just say pasal. El hakamashma the ilam dumya the bias. A tree is like on their house. My bias still some ruba mechama, so it's like a house that has a roof. We assume the roof provides more shade than sunlight. Af ilan still some ruba mechamso. So too, this tree we're talking about in the Mishnah is where the shade is more than the sunlight. Chamso meruba is still so my happy. The Gemara says, what's the problem? Hakam it's tarif, skach pasal, skach kasher. The Gemara says that we said before that if Chamsus Marum Mitzilsa on the upper one on the tree, then it would be kosher. How is it going to be kosher? You're joining schach pasel and schach kosher. What does this mean? You're joining schach pasel and schach kosher. So Tosfos learns over here that we're talking about the bottom sukkah is also chamsa marum silsa, and you're combining both schachim to make silsa marum b'chamsa. That's the way he understands the Gemara. But the pashas in the Gemara is that really the bottom one is silsa marum b'chamsa anyway by itself. Rashi learns that the top one's chamsa marum silsa, the schach that since it's pasel schach, so whatever is underneath it, it pasels that schach, and you're left, it pasels the schach underneath, and therefore you're only left with schach that mistama that's chamsa marum silsa on the bottom one.
Wow.
It's a lamdish stick over here. I'm a Rav Papa b'shachapta. And Rav Papa says we're talking about it here. You tied down the upper schach and you mixed it with the lower schach. B'shachapta and ma'ila memra. Now we know even if you tie it down, it's possible because it's mechubar l'karka, it's part of a tree. Mechubar l'karka, the Gemara is going to say, is possible for a sukkah. It has to be goran v'yek. It has to be like solas goran v'yek. It has to be branches that were cut down, but if you mix it together, it's kosher because of batal barol. Once you mix them together, so therefore, since the bottom one has more kosher schach than the top, and the chamsa marum silsa of the top one, it's batal barol, and therefore it makes the whole thing kosher.
Wow.
But see the koch of batal barol.
But you're not allowed to be battle in your day. You're not allowed to be battle with chachila. That's
very good, very good. So the Gemara says b'shachabta. The Gemara doesn't say. Efshar l'chabta and b'shachabta. It sounds like b'diavad, but you're going to see it's a good question because the Gemara is going to say even l'chadchila. At the end of the Gemara, it's really a good question. It's a very good question.
Thank you.
We'll have to think of an answer. If you have an answer, leave it in the comments. So the Gemara says b'shachabta ma'ila meimer. What's a chiddush? Of course, batal baro. Ma the same when nigs are heicha the chabta and heicha the lo chabta. You might think that you make a gzeira that even when you tie it down, because you might make a mistake and not lower it and tie it down. That we also know from somewhere else. And Mishnah is coming on later on Yud Aleph. Let's say you have schach and you took a grapevine and you took gourd plants with the vines of it and a kisum or ivy and you lowered it and you used it for schach to join it with other schach. Let's say the regular schach, the kosher schach was more than it, or or you actually cut it down, in which case it's amukub l'karka, it's kosher schach, kshera, then it's kosher. If you didn't tie it down, how come it's schach pasal and kosher? The same problem we had before. Ella lav kshachabtan must be talking about that. Mishnah is talking. Also, where you tied it down. You see that we're not gozer. Maybe you'll make a mistake and not tie it down. Ma'od the same. Honey mili b'diavad. That Mishnah says hidleil as a gevin. B'diavad, if you did it, then it's kosher. We don't know you can do the chachila, but you can't do the chachila. Our Mishnah is telling you, even the chachila you can tie it down. We're not worried. To answer your question of ein vatlan isra the chachila, that's only talking about when it's not going to be be'en anymore, when it's not going to be recognizable anymore. But if it's still going to be recognizable, then they didn't make this zera. I think that's one of the answers I heard.
Very good.
Anyway, you see the koach of batal barov over here, right? The koach, it changes the schach from schach pasal to schach kosher.
It's amazing.
Can you believe it? So that's why you follow the majority opinion, peer pressure. People are doing something, you do what everyone else does. Always do what everyone else does. Because even if they're doing something wrong, it's like it's good.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying. You should go with peer pressure. Shmuel, go with peer pressure. Put on some, no. Put on some sneakers. Go play some basketball. Go to the movies. Have a good time in life. What is this? You're davening, you're tefillin, you're talis. Yeah, a religious guy.
Are they
learning.
having a good time, all these people? That's the question, right?
That is a good question. You're right. I once asked one of my videos, I asked people, as a guy in Meir Sharma, I said, are you happy? Are you a happy person? He said, sure, God, I'm happy. I said, how many people in this world do you think are happy? He said, that's a good question. I said, how happy are you on a scale of 1 to 10? He wouldn't answer my question. He don't understand my question. But I think most people in this world are really pretty depressed. It's a very sad world out there. That's why you need a little humor. You need a little Ben Seal Lang and Shmuel Silver. You're my sidekick. You're my Robin. I'm Batman. You're Robin.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty good to be Robin.
That is good.
I'm dragging you along. So he's the Robin, I'm Batman. I'm
Very
introducing
nice.
a little humor into your life, a little good time.
Okay.
Laughing doesn't hurt, right? Laughing makes your life better.
Oh,
Gemara
okay.
says, Sukkah agabi Sukkah. Tana Rabbana. Where do we know it's possible from? But Sukkah is Teshu. Below a Sukkah, Shtach has a Sukkah. You're sitting in one Sukkah, and not a Sukkah underneath a Sukkah. Below a Sukkah, Shtach has a not like a Sukkah underneath the tree. Below a Sukkah, Shtach Abayas. These are all a problem, and Elon and Abayas provide another layer of shade, of Schach. So it's two Schachim. Adarab, but Sukkah is Tarti Mashma. It says it with a Vav. It's Mashma, two Schachim. Amrav Nachman gets that with Sukkah's Ksiv. It says with Sukkahs without the Vav, so therefore we darshan as one Sukkah, not two Schachim. Amar Rabbi Yirmiyah. Sometimes you make a sukkah on top of a sukkah. Sometimes both sukkahs could technically be kosher. Sometimes both are possible. Sometimes the bottom one is kosher, top is possible. Sometimes the opposite. The bottom one is possible and the top one is kosher. What's the case? The bottom one doesn't have enough shade. It's more sunlight than shade. And the top one has more shade than sunlight. The top sukkah is standing within 20 amos of the floor, of the bottom, of the actual ground. So therefore, it's like the bottom one. It's like the bottom one is not there because it's cham subarum misilsa, right? Like the bottom one is not there, and you have the top one basically provides shade for both sukkahs, so therefore both sukkahs are kshera. Because within 20 amos, so it's not a problem of taller than 20 amos. When are both possible? And both sukkahs have more shade than sunlight. So the bottom one is possible because it's sukkah tachas sukkah, and the top one is possible because the floor of the top sukkah is really the top of the bottom sukkah. And there's 20 amos separate, more than 20 amos from that floor of the top sukkah to its schach. So therefore, it's the psul l'malam esr mama, nothing to do with sukkah dachas sukkah, just because it's the malam esr mama. Well, that will conclude today's share on Daf Tet.
Okay.
We welcome to seeing you on Daf Yud. Join us, Shmuel.
Bye bye.
Give him fist bump to our viewers. Fist bump. Give me a fist bump. There we go. All right, bye.